Alright, welcome back to my playthrough of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. That was... I was kind of expecting, if the damage... If it was going to be a harder fight, I would have expected it to have come from the changer. But you know what? I will actually just be perfectly fine with the damage as it was. And with the difficulty as it was, because that was actually difficult and fun. 40. 1 and 3, 1 and 5. Nope. Not worth it. Word Bearer, Uralon, got the Tech Priest, whatever that thing is. You can take the Astartes Bolter, which 25 to 35? Sure, why not actually? Bolt pistol does warp damage. Dang. With the crit, all the rules allies get plus 5 damage against the target for 1 round. Dang, that is really useful. If only I had, if only with a heretic, I suppose.
That's how it's done.
Looking to the center of the arch, you begin to hear a noise. The warp amplifier seeps with sorcerous energies designed to fuel the dark ritual of chaos. Anything here? No. Alright. Let's report completion. Hello, can anyone hear me? Urge your strike team. This is Lift Control. Report your status. Uralon is dead. Acknowledge strike team. Beginning the extraction of the priority cargo. A fine victory, Ignatius. They will tell sagas about the day the contemptible Uralon fell. The Cogpriest should offer you a fine cup of Mjod for saving their prayer world. If you hadn't, Uralon would have bathed them in 100-fold more blood. As for you, ever Ulfar Thunderlung, you have proven yourself. The Stormbiters will tell all about your feat and your roaring song. Uni Brothers, that painful to do at the moment. Oh, Uni Brothers fought well. You did the wolves proud. It will be my joy to share a cup with you at the Victory Feast, Ironhide. How is your pack, Thobald? What are your losses? Several of my brothers will carry on fighting their battles in the Allfather's host. The rest have survived. We've shed much of our blood, but the wolf's hide is tough and his spirit is stubborn. When you take us down, you'd better finish us off. The Stormbiters live on this day, and the next. I see you and Ulfar have worked through your quarrels. It doesn't become a noble warrior to bark at his bottle cow and after a good fight. Ulfar Thunderlung has proven that the spirit of the baleful howl is alive and strong. So let ravens fly where he has walked, and let them tear at the bloody harvest left in his wake. May Black Mane guide you through the black of night, Ironhide. Know that if your pack calls, the baleful howl will always answer. What was hidden down there? What was the treasure that Uralon was after? Who knows? Heroes are not allowed inside the hidden arsenals, or we could see with them dragging crates up to the surface. 'Tis the age-old way. We fight, they sweep out the spoils. You brought them these from below. For all I know, it was his carols that killed them to seal their lips. Fair, possible. The sweet scent of rotten meat prickles my nostrils, but it is not the fallen body that smell, the hands of the Inquisitor's minions. 'Tis what my instinct tells me too. My heart never had a strong faith in Calcazar's words before, but now whatever phantom trust I had is scattering into smoke. We must ask questions and get the answers, by force, if that is the way it has to be. Heinrix casts a grim grimace at the mighty warriors, but does not contradict them, either out of agreement or doubt about his survival were to raise an objection. Examine the tech priest bodies. Occurred to women of medics, as if they've begun to grow inside their flesh, spreading webs of metal around them. What? Seems to have begun mutating, developing new forms and functions not envisioned by the creators. It's probable that this is what caused their demise. Click inside the tech priest's bodies and her eyes open wide. The yoke. Curious. Heal the priest. We have heavily wounded here. Reconstruction impossible. The shelter has fallen. The maimed hunter comes. Cessation of vital functions inevitable. Reading the unit's new spheric signature. No evidence of corruption registered in the algorithm. Detecting substantial logical disruptions within the augments. Threat level low. Inspect the wounds. There is not a single wound upon her white skin, but there is no doubt that she will soon perish. Her augmetics are failing, as if they had been sabotaged by some entropic influence. For a moment you consider it a sign of checkpoint, but then you refute the thought. What you are witnessing is not decay, but a transformation of the matter from which a tech priest's true flesh is made. Who are you? Mago of Actheomantha Hanuman. You're not the first servant of the Emissary I've met who goes by that name. You have found yourself at the center of a triangle of paradoxicality. You spoke of a shelter and a maimed hunter. What did you mean by it? Could there hid me here? And all of me, the maimed hunter. A figure of termination and unknown variable. A Marnet's nemesis. I never met them, but I inferred their existence based on statistical evidence and logical conclusions. The portents of entropy foretell that the hunter is near. Pascal. It was she or sister. She was me, a phenomenon of flesh, divided me into two identical bodies at birth. The Emissary's wisdom let me overcome this physiological flaw by braiding the separated mind. I was the first to unificate in the fleet. Now this half of me is dead. The rest of my mind is fading. The sympathetic principle is insurmountable. Creation of unificates is dangerous knowledge that has long since been denounced by many as a procedure not blessed by the Emissary. It is based not on a direct prototype envisioned by the precursors, merely on loosely connected technologies. Knowledge will not have the capacity to be absolute until the coming of the Emissary. We do not know of such pre-technology, but can we claim with certainty that it never existed? Do you remember stories about the Gemini-crats, the twin Magi, who joined their minds in their devotion to Mars? I remember. Proponents of the rights to create unificates based on defense on this momentous precedent. Pascal, permission to commence the interrogation procedure granted. Our identifiers are identical. State the reason for the duplication. Port left by the Messiah. Deus Mechanicus. I see Major Terminat. Where is he? Messiah of discontinuing was revoked. The maimed hunter. What are the unit's stats and parameters? Coming, concealed, proceed with caution for the hunter too sees a Messiah's signs. Pascal, what did you learn? Unit lacks clear answers. Her cognitive abilities have been damaged, but analytical data suggests a higher validity to identify as being an exact match. It is not a consequence of malicious falsification. It is more akin to an active, purposeful direction. Estimated level of threat to Archmagos Amonart increased. The unit identified as a maimed hunter is now regarded as the most probable source of danger. Can you speak more plainly? As the critical process becomes different when you only have half of your mind. Certain notions, data, and logical instruments were left, and the less functional part of me. How do you know Amonart? I was a disciple of the Messiah of Discontinuing. When he was laid low, I found myself here. Yeah, fair. Tiger will be discontinued, sister. Hope is illogical, brother. I have learned enough about you. What happened to you? Chapel was attacked. Preservation protocol commanded me to hide within inner artifactorium and block all outside access to it. Prolonged presence in a close proximity to the object is prohibited by the algorithm, but the preservation protocol had higher priority. The object affected me. I resisted led to structural change. What object? The yoke. The weapon we forged at the Lord Inquisitor's command. The Troy blows. What is this yoke? An enigma. The project was kept secret from everyone, including the Smiths. We forged fragments of it. It was a tool for controlling energies of staggering power. It was not the Emissary's blessed gifts that served as the foundation. It was forbidden knowledge that we comprehended. We were continuing the work of a mentor, Archimagos Amarnet. It was his wisdom that made our toils possible. A yoke, a means of restraint. It sounds like a project on a grand planetary scale, and it's the first I'm hearing of it. Perhaps there was a hidden purpose to my assignment, besides combating the cult and company of nations, but why? What else can you tell us about this weapon? How did Calcazar learn about it? Against who does he tend to use it? Power is absolute. Tech radical calamitous. Tech blight is merely its echo. Potential much greater. It never should have fallen into the hands of the laity, but the Lord Inquisitor stole it. The secret was procured beyond the dimensional gate, beneath the dark stars, and passed over to Marnet. Calcazar destroyed the Messiah of Discontinuing, and robbed him, and claimed the secret for himself. He knows. He was there. She speaks no lies. The first task the Inquisitor gave us in the expanse was to destroy a cult of tech heretics. The deed was done. This Marnet, was he a good priest? Did Calcazar drag us into something foul? I was there too. I fought those judged by Calcazar. This unit is waiting for an explanation. Why did Calcazar need you to do it? Swiftly and quietly, if you failed to capture the loose heretics, you knew us. The Calcazars were powerless against the wolf's might, and he brought carnage to the explorer to his ships and world. Ulfar, why did you keep quiet about this? Only others will. Chapter's business. I have already told you more about the wolves than many of my brothers would have said in my place. I feel like 2 is correct. I have no right to judge you, but Pascal does. I respect your oath and do not think less of you. Unit Ulfar claimed that he had a tool in another's hands. This statement is archived, and let every tool be treated as befits its function. You're a worthy ally, never meant for you, brother in harm, Cog Priest. As befits its function. What else do you wolves know about Amarnat? So in my honor, he disappeared, so did his ship. There is no blood of his upon our hands. And what do you know about the secret weapon? There's sneaky scheming Viper to get his hand in something so powerful. I wouldn't even trust him with my axe. It's not my place to judge you. You were following orders. And yet doubts smell in my heart. Did we sully our tracks with honor with deeds done for a dishonorable end? How exactly did the object affect you? Too late. Metamorphosis phenomena occur in objects of vicinity. Sacred technology and even ordinary plastios start behaving willfully, shifting, restructuring, and altering their fundamental attributes. Imagine yourself gazing upon a surface of water that was disturbed by a stone an era ago, but the ripples never stopped coming. That is what it felt like. The object propagated echoes of change. Why are you revealing Calcazar's secrets to me? I was never his servant. I was forced to serve. When our circle was broken, he offered me a choice, submit or die. He threatened to kill half of me if I refused to forge for him. He needed Archimagos Armanet's knowledge, and I had it. I saw no sense in resisting. You betrayed him too. Yes. Ethics are insubstantial construct of emotion. I acted logically. I continued to comprehend rather than terminate my vital functions. I doubt I can learn more from you. You're in need of help. Attempts to slow down degradation process are irrational. For they only prolong my suffering. I wish to cease to be. Brother, take my thoughts. I kept them. Keep them now. Knowledge will not fall into oblivion. The quest for knowledge is the unauthorized mission to us. May the Deus Mechanicus accept their souls. May the wolf that stalks between the stars keep their departed souls. Yeah, Uralon the Cruel is not there anymore, which is fine.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
There's supposed to be loot here somewhere. Real quick. There we go. Pascal, if you would. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense that now all the chaos warp shenanigans and fuckery are gone. 25 bonus to techies. It's the only that have medium heavy armor equipped. At the start of their first turn combat, they gain 18% armor. Jesus. That is a lot. The prayer halls, main generator sanctorum, Cronus Expanse map. Yeah.
Is there money to be made?
Come on, time. Come on. Come on, you're already at 100%. Let's do this. Ulfar Thunderlung. Live long, Rogue Trader. Business has brought us to your trekker. Okay. Greetings, brother. What brings you here? Cold bridge clad with little more than physical perfection inherited to the Angel of the Emperor. And pants, at least. Finally showed up. Brave Huskar. Brother Ulfar, you swore that you would stand for the honor of your pack, the Baleful Howl. Did you descend to Euphrates with your brothers? Did you fight? That world my boots did tread, in fallen halls my victory cries I roared. The day of the All-Father asked for a reckoning of my deeds. I will not be ashamed to tell him the siege of Euphrates. Who will bear witness to the truth of the wolf words? I will bear witness. We know you, Ignatius. We've seen you in battle. We believe you. Show us the scars, Brother Ulfar, that we may see the mark of your deeds in the flesh. I did not acquire my scars to show them off. Brother Thorvald. Show us the scars! Show us the scars! Look more closely at Ulfar. Ulfar's decision to appear at this meeting without his armor suddenly makes sense. You are watching a ritual, and Ulfar's show of modesty is merely part of the performance. Respect your brother's honor. Does he want me to, like... I say respect your brother's honor. He is the servant of the All-Father, not a braggart. Shh, now, 'tis tradition. Fair enough. Just reluctant to let the light fall on the fresh marks he received on Euphrates. 2. They had no idea he had suffered such a deep and grievous wounds. Did you take a glorious trophy in that battle, the token of your valor? Ulfar removed the horn he wrenched from the Hellbrute from his belt, and you notice that it is already carved in Fenrisian runes. The wolf proudly shows the trophy to his comrades, causing another explosion of cheers. Grin of the Iron Wolf. Proudly thundered the baleful howl. Praise the All-Father for sending us such formidable and valiant brothers. Accept from the Stormbiter this gift in honor of the battle that was fought shoulder to shoulder. It's just 30 to 45, one-handed, 50% with penetration, bleeding. Fair enough. You've decorated it. When I return to Fenris, I will drink Mjod from this while singing the saga of my march into the Cronus Expanse. Thorvald, now will you tell Ulfar, give us a look at your new axe. Our rune priest quenched it in the blood of the despicable word-bearers who fell on Euphrates too. The blade is enameled with bone meal from the tooth of a Fenrisian kraken, and inscribed on it are the names of all the brothers of the Baleful Howl Pack. You know that the name inscribed on a Fenrisian weapon can mean different things, whether glorification of past heroes or commemoration of the fallen. Ulfar runs his fingers over the symbol, linking first on one name and then another. You are no expert in Fenrisian runes, but you can make out those two, Arnulf and Skayadi. Thank you for this gift worthy of the Ragier, Ironhide. You're all best friends now? Of course, Rogue Trader. The strong brother of my brothers have been honored to hunt with you. So, now will you tell Ulfar where to look for his brothers? I will not stand in Ulfar's way if he chooses to go searching, but, brother, you have proven the glory of your pack. Is it not time to sever the weird thread? With respect, I want to extend my offer to join the Stormbriders. I must decline your offer, though my heart filled with joy at the thought of fighting alongside you. I, Ulfar Thunderlung, swear before the Blackmane and by the blood of Fenris that I will not cease to seek my pack until my own eyes behold them, alive or dead. I understand, brother. May Blackmane run beside your path. Fortify yourself. Stoke your rage. I see that your heart is darker than the waters of the world sea, so I ask you, take care that you do not join those of whom we must not speak. They must not speak of it, so no, I'm not going to ask that question. Probably turn to our tracker. Face becomes serious and give a significant look. I can hardly let the glorious wolves of Fenris leave without first... No. Yeah, fine feast. There we go. Teenage voice. The wolves burst into shouts of approval, and someone with a gravelly voice starts singing a merry song. No doubt one about massacres and glorious deaths on a battlefield. The kitchen servants here are certain no match for those serving in the great hall in Fenris, but the masters of this Drucker are not lacking in hospitality or generosity. Hey, I did it right. The small group of space wolves is enough to fill your entire magnificent ship with clamorous shouts and other portents of the coming feast. A formidable feast in which eating, drinking, and singing will be done the way the wolves do all things, to their last gasp. Good for them. Also, what the donkey? Okay. Abelard, how are you doing? How are we doing, Abelard?
Lord Captain.
We're fine.
Lord Captain.
Heinrix, how are we doing?
To what do I owe this visit?
And since everything is maxed out except for one person... Wait, no. We're the fuel and torpedoes. I still need those. All of these, done. If possible, all allies immediately attack their nearest enemy with attack normally causing the least AP. Okay. Efficient creatures armor. 50% parry. Eroding autogun. Okay. Doesn't do toxic damage though. Abyss spinning gloves. Allies hurt by the wearer's ability to gain plus 20% of the wearer's armor penetration and 30% of the wearer's critical damage for 1 round. If the ally score the critical hit about the start of the wearer's next turn, the wearer's next attack is over the critical hit. Interesting. Navy breach of boots. Plus 2 AP in this attack does not count toward the attack limit. The wearer then becomes immobilized until the start of the next turn. I mean, sure. Medkit, slicing symbol. Where you flash, dash, or kick the 5 movement and 7 momentum. That is nice. Cultist armor plates. Half the damage on hit and becomes staggered for 1 round. Okay. Immaterium Chandler. If the wielder's psi rating is 9 or higher, this sword has its damage, dodge reduction, and armor penetration increased by a percentage equal to the veil degradation. Sword deals an additional 0 damage. So you just need to be freaking have a 9 psi rating. I don't even know who has a 9 psi rating at this point. Does anybody? 5? 6? Yeah, nobody. Okay. Ulfar. Got something for us, big boy?
Let us raise our cups at Fatar, in honor of deeds accomplished and in expectation of those yet to come.
So, now you know where your brothers were heading. What will you do?
Help you to deal with the enemies who besiege your home.
Thank you.
And then head for the coordinates that Thorvald gave me. Well, I know, Edvater, that you are dauntless, and if I but say the word, you will join me in my seeking. But the place I will voyage to is a perilous one. Few can survive in it, and though duty leads me there, I do not want my debt to be paid with your blood.
Okay. If you're willing to talk about yourself now, I am listening.
It is wise to hide one's past from a stranger, but shameful to hide it from a friend. Ask away.
How do you become an Astartes?
I was a seafarer. Every spring we would go out onto the world sea and slay many armed krakens and ravenous sea drakes. And then the season of fire would come, and we would dock on Asaheim to battle for our clan's right to inhabit that land. I was young, but already fierce, and facing down foes twice my size. The chooser of the valiant, who had watched the fateful battle from the cliffs, deemed me worthy and took me to the Fang for healing. My clan was proud. I spent years in training before I passed through the dreaded gate of Mordkai, bowed on the runestones before both his heads, and walked into the Valley of Dreams. As for what I saw there, do not ask me. That is between me and the Death Wolf. The Rune Priest scoured my soul, but found it untouched by corruption. I returned, and I partook of the cup of Wolfen. The Canis Helix entered my blood, and the agony of transformation changed my body to resemble that of a beast, and my mind was drowned in the dark depths of bloodlust. My return from the dark was long and cost me greatly. When I stood in the hall at the Fang once more, the Rune Priests imbued my body with the remaining gene seed and implanted the necessary organs. But those trials were nothing compared to what I had already endured. When I overcame the darkness of Wolfen in my soul, I set out for the Fang. Every neophyte must undergo a hunt during this journey. One might fight a fearsome wolf, another a sly snow worm. I crossed paths with a doppelgrendel, a cunning and rancorous spirit. For 5 days and nights did we bring our wits and wrath to bear in battle. The spirit changed its guise, but in the end, I gouged out its eyes. Fleeing, it hissed a curse. Nowhere would I find an honorable death, vowed the creature. My saga came to an abrupt and inglorious end, like a noble banner moldering and fraying at the edge. When I made my return to the Fang, clutching that crushed eye, the Rune Priest looked at me, and his face grew grim. But he said not a word, save to confirm my victory. Everything on Fenris has power. I have fought in 100 battles, and suffered 100 injuries. Even wolves are not certain to survive such grievous maiming. But I always survived. And with each new victory, my thoughts took a darker turn. What if I truly am destined never to die with honor? What if my death will be foolish and inglorious? Each time I bury a brother, I secretly envy him. A gift straight from the Seven Hells!
Damn, man.
What is the valor of a deathless warrior worth? Where is greatness in the exploits of one who shrinks from death? When the wolf time comes, and my fallen brothers march into the final battle, where will I be? Sitting alone in the fang beside a fire that went out long ago? The ages weigh heavily on my hands and heart, and one day I will be too tired and feeble to wake up and rush into the fray. What will they call me then? Ulfar, who slept through the battle? Ulfar, Mordecai's unwanted. The path of Astartes leads into the fangs of horror. Any threat that can be endured by the mind is one that mortals can handle. But we are needed where the unthinkable begins to happen. Things that understanding cannot help to bear. Things that, once beheld, turn minds into bubbling, pulsating dreck. An ordinary man who encounters this evil will go mad with despair. But we are incapable of feeling fear. It is simply not in our nature. Instead, we feel unbearable rage. We must select the neophytes who will look into the eyes of the unthinkable and roar. That is why we need our trials. Many times I have heard the clicking of Mordecai's fangs next to my ear. But I have never allowed him close enough to sink them into my rump. We call ourselves the Baleful Howl, and our sign is known to all wolves. We are old wolves who have seen much and endured much. This is the great black man wolf, patron of slayers and totem of our great company, the Black Manes. All know that we are fearsome and hungry for the struggle of war, that we are cunning, deadly, and show no mercy. Speak our name, and thunder rolls. Even among the brothers, my pack are counted as the most rabid glory hunters. When we were young, we knew no taboos or limits to our pride. Years passed, and suddenly we are veterans. But our avaricious hunger for exploits is undimmed. A complete accounting of all my deeds would land like an avalanche upon you. I earned this mark of endurance when I slew a chieftain of an Eldari tribe. He dealt me a serious injury, and the wolf priest said I would not survive it. But it has not killed me yet. 2 years I lay in a delirium after that battle. When I awoke on Fenris, I set out for the wastes at once. And there I hunted a black-maned wolf and killed it with my bare hands. For that feat, I was granted the rank of Wolf Guard. That fearsome beast remains with me to this day, and I carry his furious spirit. And Jarl Ragnar carved this one when I beheaded a despicable sorcerer, the archdespot of Tyrannica II. Many brothers fell victim to him, and we do not sing that saga before mortals, for the preservation of their minds. Alas, I failed to behold my own glorious deed. My eyes streamed with blood, and I hunted down the sorcerer by scent alone. And of my glorious victories, there are many more besides. Not for nothing did the Jarl grant me the accolade of Terminator. Before becoming an Astartes, I dreamed of becoming a Skjald, a keeper of stories. At feasts, I often sing of my brother's exploits. Thousands are stored in my memory. When I am near, wolves fight even more ferociously, for they know their deeds will be immortalized. One of the tech priests theorized that our songs contained hidden psychometric codes to increase courage. Maybe there is such a thing in other places. But on Fenris, our sagas are spun from memory, from respect, from pride. More than word stringing, a secret weaving. Magic in its marrow. Not to ear or mind speaks the saga. Its spell sounds deeper strike, and the heart hearkens. That is my moniker, yes. My voice knows no fatigue, whether fighting or feasting. I can recite the glorious sagas and terrify foes with my battle cry for hours. Oh, this fine name was given to me by my loyal friends, Arnulf Bloody Axe and Skjadi Twice Thinker. The bonds between us were many. Arnulf was my sworn brother. It was he whom I faced down in a battle where the chooser of the valiant noticed me. Arnulf too was deemed worthy. We went from bitter foes to setting aside the enmity between our clans and becoming close friends. He gave me this blade to show that the past was forgotten. Quick to laugh was Arnulf, and fearsome in a fight. Almost as fearsome as me. Skjadi Twice Thinker. Well, he was sent to us by the Allfather to see that we did not meet our deaths as young pups. He had enough thoughts in that head of his to make do for me and Arnulf both. It was Skjadi who taught me to compose verses. The spirits prized his wisdom, and the runes hearkened to his voice. When the Xenos took me prisoner, Arnulf caught up with them and slew a score of them with his fine axe. And Skjadi called down a storm so mighty that the abomination's jet bikes were whipped into the wind's furious currents like leaves. But even that was not enough to take them all. We were captured. Tervantius took Skjadi first and turned his body into something unthinkable. Then he took Arnulf, and during the many hours of torture, my brother's only response to the freak was disdainful laughter. And then he fell silent. And their sagas will be sung in the Hall of the Immortals, sowing valor in the hearts of the young. I enjoy telling stories.
Yeah, I can tell, Ulfar.
What do you want to know? I enjoy Fenris Hilda.
Alright. Cassia, anything?
My dear friend, I have...
Argenta.
Greetings.
I want to talk to you about what you learned during the assault on Eufrates, too.
Of course. Do you remember the first days of the attack? when we
Yes.
captured one of the heretic commanders. He burned so brightly you could have seen him from anywhere on the battlefield, I'm sure. But what is most important is what he told us before his execution.
Which was?
The heretic was one of Conrad Voigtfir's closest henchmen, and he revealed, screaming through the pain, what I had wanted to know for so long. The markers of the route to Salus Prime. The world my heart calls to. The heretics of the Final Dawn tried all they could to stop us, but they failed.
I mean, I'm presuming that'll be represented on the map when we get to it. And then last but not least, Pascal. That's Abel. Where's Pascal? Up here.
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
Okay. Fair enough. So we might actually just have a passage, but there's no. I don't have more. I have no more Navigator's Insight, which is going to suck. Any time now? Really? Come on. This is getting ridiculous. Ah, that's why. It's not responding. This is going to be a problem, I guess. I want to thank you for joining me today. Hope it's made your day a little bit better. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe down below. You should also be seeing a couple of links on your screen. One for this playlist for Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, just in case you missed something or you want to catch up to where we are now and just experience the entire thing. The other is should just be a link to another video on my channel that YouTube thinks you'd like. And more important than any of the algorithm stuff, all of that, just make sure to be well.